Boom, boom, how's it going? Welcome aboard. Yeah, it is ITJ again, and I am out at one of the sites that we bought this property shortly before lockdown, and obviously with lockdown, there wasn't a lot of things that we could do. But I am fascinated that, yay, we can actually show you some of the work that we've been doing. So this is going to be part one of the property that we recently bought, and I just want to show you guys around. Here we go. So behind me is literally rooms like let me jump onto the start, right? In certain neighborhoods you can buy properties that are zoned correctly, and this is the opportunity that we actually have, or we had on a particular property like this one. So you buy a property that is zoned correctly. What do I mean by that? In this particular neighborhood, properties are zoned, not all of them, but you need to just double check. Properties are zoned for zone 4, so which means that they have a capacity of a high density. So behind me right now is what was the older house, and I'm going to show you guys what it looks like. There's still a little bit of construction that is happening. You can see the guys doing, say, some construction. I'm gonna go through into it, but you can see right above me there is quite a lot of work that still needs to be done. But if the property is zoned correctly, what then happens? You have the opportunity to just go to the council, and what you now need to do is to get your plans ready, and then you can build. And for many people, this is a good opportunity, and for me it is a good opportunity as well. I like projects like these ones. What can you do, especially if the land is smaller, but you're in an area where actually it allows for Res 4? And this is what I'm going to show you guys what you can do, because the person who used to own this property, they did exactly that. So what they did is they took on a property that was zoned correctly, so location was good, it was zoned 4, but the yard was smaller. But what did they do with the yard? And this is what I'm going to show you today. All right, boom. Showing you exactly what it looks like. So from where I am sitting, this is actually a property that now has in total around about 15 units, right? I want to say 15 units, and I'm going to show you what the 15 units comprises of. But if I look here on my left-hand side where the guys are working, this used to be the old house. It's zoned correctly, right? So for zone 4, for Res 4. So with that, there's lots of things that you can do that you cannot do on a normal house, right? So what can you do? You can, traditionally this would be called back rooms, but these are not just your back rooms. These are self-contained units. We're going to jump into it. You got 3 at the bottom here and another 3 on the top, so it's 6 all in total. And in the house, in the main house, that used to be a main house, you actually have more. So, I mean, properties like these ones, it's rainy. There was some shady job here that you can see, you know. This water should be going somewhere. It mustn't be stagnant like this. So obviously there's some more work for us to do. It's either we actually need to put in some more cement so that it can slope coming through this way, so that when it rains from there, all the water is coming this way. Easy, isn't? But not necessarily so for some builders. They don't get it. For some reason, they put the slope going downward, and now there's a dam there. Right, so I'm gonna go through in here. To my right hand side is the actual property. You can see there, it's got a little bit of a high ceiling, so those are units on the top there and units at the bottom. We're going to go in there, but on the left hand side, which would have been the back of the yard, right, there we are. Okay, I'm gonna go into unit number 1 based on our video here, and you jump in here. You can see our traditional painting that we do. This is like an open plan kitchen, kind of like open plan living space. So there you are. you would have your kitchenette there. And on this side here, you've got your living space. As you come in here, on the right-hand side here, ablutions on your left, on your right-hand side, right? Nothing fancy, just to make sure that, you know, you've got ample, the basic stuff that you need, right? And you come through to your bedroom. So this is a one bed, right? There's your one bed, right? There you are, you got a nice window there, nice fresh air that comes through into this unit. Now, all the units are like this, right? So I'm not jumping into every unit, but all the units are like this. And out of it, right, all we do is you're gonna charge around about a 3K, around about 4,000 on a unit like this one, and you're making some good money. If I'm going outside, right, we go all the way there. So that was unit number 1, and there's another unit there. I'm not gonna go into there. It's the same one. It looks the same, right? The layout is the same, and so there's 1 and then 2, and then there's the third one here on the right-hand side. And then you go upstairs, right? And on the left-hand side, right, we're gonna go upstairs now, show you what it looks like. There's a lot of construction still happening here, a lot of dirt lying around, right? You can see that. So there's quite a bit that is still happening, some rims and all of those things, right? The guy, when we bought this property here, it was distressed. You can see there. It looks like there's beds staying in that left panel there in the ceiling. You can see that, right? Okay, all the way onto the top there, right? Now I'm gonna go up, and you can see there, I mean, when they painted here, this was like, I don't know, Zama maybe? Yeah. The tiling there. So there's lots of work that still needs to be done here. Going up all the way to upstairs, right? So I started at the back of the property, right? And I'm gonna tell you some of the challenges that are on this property here. And you can see there, going in here, and maybe there's actually a bed in there, who knows? Let's see. Could there be a bed in there? I think so. Right. Okay, so we come in here. Again, this unit is identical with the one that we saw at the bottom, right? So all you did is a block, and you just split it in between, and there you are. The unit is the same. This unit here has been painted fully, right? And if you're coming into here, there you go. Right, your nice shower, nicely tiled, your toilet there, your sink, and everything looks beautiful in here. Now, what's now left for this particular unit is that the guys need to come in and do what is called a final touch. You know, final touch is when you're actually just giving it a speed shine, right? Speed shine, making sure that all this dirt that's on here is nicely cleaned. We're bringing the ladies to come in to do their work in here. We've got a team of ladies that does the cleaning, and some of the other boys that help them through with the elbow grease. You know, because sometimes you need some elbow grease. But this is it. This unit nicely put in, and that's what you get, you know, on a unit like this one. And it's exactly a replica of downstairs. Right? You can see there's still some little bit of work that's happening here. And again, next door here is the same unit. We're not gonna go in there, right? So definitely the bed has been coming through here, as you can see. So they probably come through in here, then they crawl over to the other side, right? So those are the 3 units. I think maybe let's jump in here so that you can see some of the work that still needs to be done in here. Right, the tiles were falling off, cupboards is non-existing, and things like that. Small odd things that if you have to bring in a handyman in here, you are still going to pay some good money to do all of this work. Now, there's some more work that's not totally finished. You can see there, right? Some paintings was Zama kind of like, right? you're supposed to have some form, actually if you have to go into the to a builders or something like that, they give you what is called a trap door, you put in there. But the guys, I don't know what they put in there. So I mean, this is some of the properties that we buy, and you can see that this person here potentially ran out of money to just give this as a nice polish. I mean, look at the neighbors there. The neighbors, nice building there, and it's got So in a property like this one, I'm just gonna go downstairs, right? And I want to show you another problem that we're trying to solve for in this building is that you've got the water running through from there on that roof, and that water is coming in, and you can see there. I want to show you the evidence of it. That water is coming in and hitting in. It's coming into this wall. So which means that water is not correctly channeling in to where it's supposed to be going. And that's why that wall is looking like that. So obviously there's some work that needs to be done there to make sure that that water gets channeled in the right way. And if you look at here, if the water is if the rain is to rain from kind of like the west, and it normally does that, it basically means that all of the section here is going to be full of water. So which means that if this can easily become a dam here, this whole area can become a dam. So what needs to be done, potentially you need to put something up on the top here so that we can catch all the rain and channel it somewhere, right? That's one thing you can do, and then create some form of a shade here, or it basically means that we will have to create some form of a drainage system here. That's what it basically means, right? But this is still very construction site, kind of like, I think this would be a nice storage in my view, right? It's a nice storage for me here, just underneath there. We put a nice door here and close it off. Yeah, put a little bit of storage there, that kind of thing. Prepaid meters, these are not prepaid meters, but it's important to have meters like these ones, because then there is no objections of what we're utilizing, what the individuals is utilizing, right? These are normal meters, get them at a cheaper price and things like that. There you are, each unit has its own meter, right? And the caretaker comes out here. So this is the board. I'm sure this board is going onto the top there where we saw the beds. So the bed is not going to have a place to stay on anymore, right? Okay, coming through down here, there's the back of the house. And the geyser, you got the geysers outside. They could have gone into the ceiling in normal cases. Lots of work still happening here, right? If we go through into another, this is another unit, right? There's a little bit of a kitchenette sort of, right? With some cupboards there, right? Okay, you can see the work. The work is a little bit shady in here, man, right? I don't know what happened there. And this unit here looks like it's tiled throughout. It is tiled throughout. Let's see, how big is this unit actually? Look at your prepaid meters that are coming in there. The guys, it looks like they're still, rigging them up. And there you are. This looks like a bachelor, kind of like, with a little bit of a kitchen on the kitchenette on the corner there. And you come through here, abolitions are this side of the world. Nothing fancy, but a bachelor or someone else who's got a child can easily stay in here. The colors though on the doors are a little bit radical, kind of like red, a bright red, yeah? Okay, there we go. Some more cupboard space and things like that. Now, this would have been traditionally part of the house, maybe a bedroom or something like that, but because it's zoned correctly, you can chop and change what you want done. This is some of the work that needs to be done. Obviously, you can see here, this is loose, right? It needs to be sorted out. So the guys, there's a full team of guys that are working on this site here. But interestingly, I want us to go inside the property itself, because there's type of properties, very interesting properties, because they are very old properties, and they have what they call the wooden floors. And I want to show you guys what happens in some of these neighborhoods is the floors. So we're coming into the main house now, right? And this used to be the old main house, right? But now it has been changed around. So this floor here is actually a wooden, I mean, you can see that it's a wooden, there you are, okay? You can see there when we're making that sound that it is wooden. Now, there's a huge problem on here that I'm going to share with you guys, but I want actually to find maybe a one unit where we can actually, I can show you exactly. Let me go in here. There was a section where I saw something happening, which I thought, yeah, there we go. Right, so this is supposed to be another unit. So all in all, there's about 16 units in here. So this is another unit in here. And where we are right now, it's all, this is wood. You can hear that sound, right? But here is something fascinating. On these wooden floors like this, what starts happening now is that you start getting these holes on the floors. So what is happening here is basically the rats from underneath the floor, in the evening, they come in, right? They find a weaker point, right? They find a weaker point, and then they start chipping in there, right? This is right in the, so everywhere the whole house is like that, right? And they start chipping in there until they find a weaker spot. And when they find a weaker spot, guess what do? They come into the house. So what we did is that we said, okay, fine, let's actually take the entire wooden floors and let's bring in to do a slab, you know, a traditional slab like what we all know. And most houses that are being built these days, they've got these slabs here, right? Okay, so now we are actually in the middle of the project where we're doing all of these slabs, and half of the house has been done now. We've got slabs everywhere. I mean, this is an existing structure that you already have, and we've had to half of the house, you know, you can see there, half of the house we are done there. Okay, and there we are. I'm not gonna go in there, but this is it, right? I'm gonna show you from outside what this building looks like. Let me see if we can show you. I think we can. So this is the outside part of it, and you can see there. So this is a walkthrough, the first walkthrough of this property, where I am just going to show you exactly what we've been doing here. What area is this in? This is in the Upper Houghton. I call this in the across the road from what they call the Upper Houghton, right? They call this the Upper Houghton, but it's in an area. We're literally a street away from Houghton. Like one street divides us from Houghton, and this area is called Bellevue, right? So for some of you already know the place. And this is where we bought this property. But you can see here, look at this gutter here. It's a fairly new gutter, but it wasn't installed properly. Look at it now. Look at it. Where is it going? Boom! It's missing the mark, right? So what needs to be done there? So small types of works like this needs to be done. There you are. I was telling you about the water that's coming through. Have a look there. You can see for yourself, right? So I'm just taking you back from where we started off. This property looks like a good property. I'm going to talk to you about numbers a little bit later in the next couple of videos that are going to come through. But on a property like this one, we can make some cha-ching. I'm dead sure of it. It's ready, but it needs some polishing for it to get the right tenants. If you've got some questions, comments, you can plug them in there. My name is TJ. It's great hanging out with you. Cheers. God bless. Goodbye.